Daniel Nema song called Higher Place. I think some of you know it, so please sing with us. And I'll let Mr. Gene get us started.
To a higher place, up, far beyond this time and space, up, to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place.
Let's do that again, shall we?
Up to a higher place, up, far beyond this time and space, up, to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place, higher place, higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. No more backwards, no more spinning around and around. My soul is moving ever upward. My feet are leaving the ground. Up to a higher place. Up, far beyond this time and space. Up, to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. No more downward, no more darkness, no more wondering the point of it.
What is the point of it all?
My life is destined for greatness. My soul has answered the call. Up to a higher place. Up, far beyond this time and space. Up, to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place. I feel my soul rising to a higher place.
Thank you. We'll see. But
Next time we do that will be the second.
yes, it will be. And
Good
it will
morning.
be better, but that was okay.
Well, let's thank Gene and Susan again for being our musical inspiration for today. Woo! I could listen to that all day long, and if that's how talented they are, that they can say, let's give this a whirl, because this is what Spirit says we should sing this morning.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you. Love it. Skills. Okay. So now I can welcome you to the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Reverend Kamatara, and I'm so grateful to be your host today, along with an amazing team of folks. And I'm so grateful that each one of you is joining us today, whether you're in the house or online. Please type something in the thread and shout out from where you are. We're so grateful that we're all together today. And together we do transform our world with the power of love in action. So our awesome team today, we've got the tech team. I'm seeing Michael Cowden and Annette Martinez. And we had our greeters. I think that's Carmela, and I'm seeing Doug over there. And of course, Miguelito is greeting everyone. That's a gotta have it station when you get to greet Miguelito. All right. And then also we've got our food angels that are on the job today, folks in the Spirit Bound bookstore, which you definitely should visit after service because it's beautiful, especially as you're gearing up for your holiday gift season. You know that there aren't a lot of metaphysical bookstores in town. So this is a great place to do your shopping. All right. And support the home team. It's all good. And then also we have some amazing licensed spiritual practitioners that are here to support you. They're like professional prayers. They do their prayers with you, one who prays. So our practitioner is here holding the high watch. We have Teresa Greco, Lisa Kerr, and Alicia Hanlon. And then doing our invocation and benediction, so our opening and closing prayer, we have Chris Duvall. And our platform assistant today is Carol Helms. So we have an amazing lineup today, not to mention our very own Reverend Tammi Lambert, who'll be sharing the inspirational message for today. So now let's take a moment to drop down and in for our opening prayer with Chris Duvall.
This week, I was reminded of the story about the little fish that swam over to his mommy and daddy and said, I have a need for water. And they said, my darling, you're swimming in it. It's swimming in you. But the fish didn't have the awareness. And I know that I have a greater need for the awareness of the substance in which I swim. A greater need for its penetration into my mind and my heart and my entire being. And I know that each person here is surrounded by the substance of this spiritual reality that enlivens us, that empowers us, that elevates us. And I know that each one here can have a greater understanding of it and greater skill in the use of it. And so I am so grateful for this service today, for this wonderful team that's joining together, for this community here, this community of joyful connection. For I know that this service, in all its sacredness, in all its alignment, in all its perfection, is unfolding just as it needs to. And I bless each participant. I bless Reverend Tammi, especially knowing that she is in full alignment with the divine will for this service today. And that in every moment and in every glance and in every expression, in every word, the will of the Divine One is being expressed and affirmed and enhanced by this service. And so I'm so grateful, and I just release it into the law, knowing it is done, and so it is.
Thank you, Chris. That was a beautiful prayer. So here at the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living, we are anchored in the principles of science of mind and new thought, ageless wisdom. And what we teach can be distilled down to at least 4 basic concepts. We'll do some bullet points here. We know we got a sermon coming up, so we'll keep it brief. But we know that there is only one power in the universe and that it's known by many names. We also believe that thought is creative. So we take care of what is in our mind, and we keep going back to spiritual truth, that there is only one power, and we don't blame ourselves or beat ourselves up for our thoughts, the ones that don't serve us. We just simply replace them with thoughts that affirm our life. We also believe that everything in our life is either an expression of love or a call for love, no exceptions. And, wait, there's more. We believe that each one of us is whole, complete, and perfect just as we are. And while there may be some thoughts or behaviors that we may want to let go of or improve or enhance or things that are less than skillful, there's not anything that we need to add to ourselves. just a beautiful deepening and aligning with truth. So with that, we're so grateful that each one of you has chosen to be a part of today's celebration, in person or online. This is a special time because of you, and you are here. So we want to especially welcome those of you who are with us for the second time, or any first timers as well. So for those of you joining us this morning, especially if you're online, give a shout out. And for those of you here in the seats, if you feel comfortable, you could maybe raise your hand if you're a visitor, first or second time. All right, y'all need to be inviting some friends. Okay, so we're going to bless the people that we know are coming. So as we outstretch our hands, we see you. We know who you really are. You are a unique emanation of spirit. We love you. We appreciate you. And we thank God for you. Welcome home. Thank you. So next week when I'm talking, we're going to see even more friends here. The gauntlet has been dropped. All right. So now it's time for our mission and vision and our sacred reading with Carol Helms.
Thank you. Well, last night I was searching high and low for something to read about home. And then I remembered this month, it was right there on my bedside table. I've been reading it all month. And so I have a couple of readings for you this morning. One a little playful but true, the other kind of richly disturbing but true. This is from page 98 in this month's Science of Mind magazine. I'm going to read the first and last paragraphs of an article that says Adventures in Progress by Reverend Trish Hall. Dorothy, in A Wizard of Oz, said it all when she said, "There's no place like home." When we realize our home is the whole world and our family is all creation, we treat one another differently and feel impelled to shame our good as broadly as possible, to share our good. It's called monovision contacts. It's a weird distance here. We eagerly share the way we discover to make life work better. She closes her article with, "We embrace and lift up our global family and their array of cultures. In the 1970s, my era, Peter, Paul, and Mary understood a global sense of home, not bound by geography or proximity. Instead, as an experience, they sang, and I quote, 'Home is where the heart is, no matter how the heart lives. Inside the heart, where love is, that's where home is.'" The other reading that I'll attempt and botch only once, guaranteed. This is from Marianne Williamson, and it's a powerful, powerful quote about living and making peace with fear. Our deepest fear is that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous, reading challenged? Okay. Actually, who are you not to be that? Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. And as we let our own light shine, we are unconsciously giving other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And I did the reading first, and now we're going to do our vision and mission statement. Right, it all fits. Okay, we've got it up here. Our vision. transforming our world with the power of love and action. Our mission, loving all creation through spiritual growth and service, always staying true to our highest selves. Now we have more special music. My part's blue, right? Right. Special music from Susan Clark and Jean Corbin.
Or is it Jean Corbin and Susan Clark? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, right. I don't need this. You do.
How's everybody doing this morning?
Susan and I were in a band 20 some odd years ago with each other. And we have not gotten to sing with each other for a long, long time now. So that first song, I want to learn it really good and come back and do it next week.
This guitar is like stuff like that.
Let me walk to the banks of the river of love, where the current runs deep, baptized in the one, where there's no separation and the light is all we see. Honoring all our differences, and love will set us free. Oh, Mother, Father, God, there's the healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. I said, oh, you rock my soul. I said, oh, you rock my soul. I see the blessings of the past. It's time to requalify. Let's learn to forgive, but not forget. God knows we gotta try. It's my responsibility to heal the wounds in me. Compassion, faith, hope, and love, and truth will set us free. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. God, there's a healing going on. I said, oh, you rock my soul. I said, oh, you rock my
Can we do the whole thing again, just for me? Walk to the banks of the river of love, where the current runs deep, baptized in the one, where there's no separation and the light is all we see. Honoring all of our differences, and love will set us free. Mother, Father, God,
there's a healing going on.
Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on.
I said, oh, you rock my soul. I said, oh, you rock my soul.
Oh, yes, it does.
I said, oh, you rock my soul.
Mr. Jean Corbin.
Your music director now.
Oh, not officially.
Okay.
We're easing into that.
These are not the drones you're looking for.
That's right. Cute and cuddly boys. All right. So again, for Susan and Jean. That was amazing. Let's thank them one more time. And if y'all want to add that to your playlist, just look up Jamie Lula, Jami, Jamie Lula. Delish. All right. And speaking of delish, oh my goodness, I'm so excited because today Reverend Tammi Lambert is speaking with us this morning. And on the off chance you didn't know, she is the chief judge for the Pueblo of Santa Ana, and her restorative justice program is mind-blowing healing. Talk about a healing going on. She is transforming the world through the power of love and action that is Tammi Lambert. So I'm very grateful that we get to listen to her inspirational message today that Spirit speaks through our own Reverend Tammi.
I don't know why I turned off red. Everybody needs an Annette. Oh, I just am so happy to see all of you today. Mwah, 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 mwah. So it's just a joy to be here in person. So we're going to be talking about, there's a theme about the home and the hero's journey. But I decided I wanted to talk about something else. But it's kind of related. My talk title is, What If It All Worked Out? What if it all works out? Whenever we're even deciding or going to contemplate going on a new journey or a new endeavor, there's this kind of sometimes before we even get started, we want to know the answer before we even start to get on the journey, right? I have friends, and I swear I've never done this. I can't do it. There are people who will read the back of the book before they start. Have you ever met someone who does that? They want to read. They just can't be with the journey of the book. You just have to know before you start how it goes, right? And humanity, as long as we've been having history and sages and shamans, we've been wanting to know the answers before we start. Do I go on this journey? Do I take on this relationship? Will that diet work? Should I take on that job? If I apply for that job, will I get it? Well, if I get the job and I take it, will I like the people, right? Like on and on and on and on, right? We do this. It's part of being human. Life is just one journey after another, and we want to know the answers, right? And so one of the things that I was thinking about, I was like, one of the ways that we've looked to have the answers is divination. Now, we read tarot cards, we have a pendulum, we may have, in the Bible, actually in the Old Testament and the Torah, the priests had a vestment that had the Urim and the Thummim. And it was two stones that they took out and they would throw them. It was called casting lots. And it was like, this is innocent or this is guilty, right? So they were all these different ways. There's something in the Bible about how the king of Babylon was consulting with the arrows and reading the entrails and all of that, right? We've thrown stones, we look at feathers, we throw shells. We have all of these tools that are helping us know what's going to happen at the end of the book, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with that. And don't get me wrong. I think it's a great idea. I think that these are tools that we use to tap into our own intuition and our own subconscious. Sometimes we use different tools. Right. Now, I was raised in a Seventh-day Adventist church where these things were, people said, oh, this is the devil, right? Except for one. It's called bibliomancy. Ever heard of that one? It's where you take the Bible and you open it randomly and you put your finger on it. Yes, I see you doing it. And whatever your finger sees first is what was for you, right?
Come on. We all do this kind of thing, right? So what we want to know is before we start the journey is how it's going to end. Should I be on this journey? Should I engage in this, right? We all have this question. And as long as we've been having, the ability to do it. And one of the things that was interesting is there's a verse in Proverbs in the Christian Bible. It says, the lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposing thereof is of the Lord. That's the King James Version. Or the English Standard Version, the lot is cast into the lap, but its every decision is from the Lord. So the idea is that you throw the lots, you throw the stones, you ask the question, and it's actually the Lord that's guiding the answer, right? So that's interesting because when I start thinking about when I'm looking at taking the next trip or the next thing, the next journey, and I want to know, is this a safe journey? One of the things that has me ask is this inability to be with uncertainty, right? I can't be with uncertainty. I want to know if I'm safe. All right. I want to know if it's, a bad idea. Is there something about somebody, I'm in a relationship with them? Is there something that I'm not seeing? What's in my blind side that I don't know yet? Right. These are the answers that we are constantly looking for in our lives. I know that there was a time when I used to, I had a very, intense job once working for the state, and I would be commuting to Santa Fe, and I had this thing with clouds. And so I would look up at the clouds, and whatever formation the clouds reminded me of was kind of my message for the day. So imagine me driving to Santa Fe, and I'm looking at the clouds, and I think that cloud kind of looks like a turtle. So then I go, well, wow, okay. So I have a home with me. I'm always safe. I have a home with me, and I have a tough shell. And so even if people are directing things at me, I know that I'm protected. And turtles live for a long time, so I'm going to say that I have a long life, and I'm going to say that whatever I'm engaged in, I have to be slow and steady and not just do things, right? So I would get these messages for myself from what I read in the clouds, right? Now that was my own intuition, and somebody else, I'd say, look at the turtle in the sky, and they're like, girl, you need a break, right? But we all do that kind of thing because there's an actual truth in us that's looking for what is so. We want to read the roads, right? Now, the thing about that is often when we're looking at this divine intuition, what we see is what's already so, right? We're seeing what's already so, what's already happened. And so often what we see is based on what? Our stories, our experiences, our perceptions, our memories. All these things are faulty, right? My daughter has me engaging in doing writing. And she was like, why don't you write a story of your life, right? So I was like, I'm going to start with the forward. And the forward to the story of my life is, this is a novel. Because everything I think isn't necessarily true. The way that I perceived it isn't necessarily how it happened. The way that I remember it is probably not even right. And all the stuff in between I made up. Right? And so the reality is that when we start looking for the stories, we have to own that there's no right answer. There's only what is resonating with my spirit, what is resonating with my soul, what is the message for me. So when I start thinking about this idea of maybe there's something outside of everyone's perceptions, the perceptions of race consciousness of the thought form that everyone's living under, maybe there's a different answer to the idea of war. Maybe there's a different answer to violence. Maybe there's a different answer to hunger. Maybe there's a different answer to the polarization that we're experiencing. Maybe there's not a need for a reading. Maybe there's a need for a healing. Maybe, the idea that Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. And this healing doesn't come from what is already known. The healing comes from this place of spirit that is something that has to be created, and it is created through us. So when I start asking, what if it all works out? I can actually start asking a question that's steeped in possibility, in the heretofore unknown possibility of the creation of something new. Now, in Science of Mind, we don't talk about, we know that there's the oneness, that everything is the oneness, right? We know that everything is everything and that we're part of the everything. But the idea is not that we meld into the great ocean, the great cosmos of the everything. We actually are individuals that the everything is working through. And there hasn't been a you before, and there hasn't been a you in this time before, and we're here in this time, in this space continuum to effectuate a co-creation with the divine that is on a higher frequency than we have ever done before. We are in a unique time. We are here in this space of light. We are brought with challenges in the life, in the times right now, but we are uniquely channeling the cosmos, the light, the power, the love in a way that only we can do at this time. So even if I existed for countless lifetimes on many dimensions and many planets and many lives, there's only one me right here, right now, in this time and place. There's only one you right now in this time and place. And so when we look at the world and we look at circumstances and we look at what is there to create right now, we can say, what if it all works out? What if the divine plan of love and light works out? I'm reminded of this prayer from Alice Bailey, and I don't have it completely memorized. So, and a lot of people are modifying it, but it's the great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into human minds. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into human hearts. May the coming one return to earth. May Christ consciousness return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide all little human wills, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out. And may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. So when we consider our purpose, we are part of a divine plan of light that is shifting the consciousness of this planet right now. Millions of people, billions of people are joining us in this new pursuit of light and love on this planet, and we are part of this plan. We give ourselves over to be used by light and love, and sealing the door where the things that do not appear to be love dwell. What appears to be separation dwells. What appears to be limitation, where that dwells, we seal that door and we bring on and through ourselves the ability to be a powerful instrument of light and love. We are the divine plan. So when we consider the idea of embarking on a journey, every single thing that is appearing in our lives right now is that journey. It may not seem like your hero's journey is something where you go into a different place. It may be a different place. It doesn't necessarily mean you pack up your RV and go on a trip around the world. It could be a journey in your life. It could be a calling for you. And so what we are asking ourselves is right now is, what is our next journey? Where is light and love calling you forth? And the thing is so often when we consider what is our journey, it might have landed for you as a problem. It might have landed for you as a problem, as a challenge in a relationship, as a challenge in your home situation, as a challenge with finances. There is a challenge in your life right now that is spirit calling you forth into your power, that is calling you forth into this higher evolution, that is calling you forth into the vibration of who you are in all your specialness. This call is echoing through each of us right now. And so what do we do with that call? We tell that call, what if it all works out? What if it all works out? And we open ourselves up to the vibration of the possibility. What if it all works out? And when I bring on this idea, what if it all works out? What it does to my emotional body is I start going, hey, I can feel immediate relief. And I can be in not just the question, but I can be in the joy of the answer. And I shift my emotional body in alignment with the joy of the fulfillment of my purpose. I align myself with the joy of the fulfillment of my purpose. And so as I'm doing this and as I'm being this, I start looking for my mentors. I start looking for people who are in alignment with this idea. I start drawing to me with my emotional body, with my attraction, with my word, with my thought, with my deeds, the way I move my body, the way I am. My beingness is just the joy of knowing that I am the fulfillment of this divine purpose, that the journey that I am on is blessed, that the way before me is paved with the gold of divine light, that there are flowers blooming all around me as I step into this possibility because I know who I am. I know that I am on the right path. I know that I am divinely guided. So I step into that joy when I ask, what if it all works out? You know, it's so funny because I started with this idea. I gave a similar talk, not the same one because they're always different, of what if it all works out. And I was sharing with the congregation that my mother moved in with me last week. And my Seventh-day Adventist mother moved in with me last week. And now I'm eating healthier than I ever have. I'm pretty sure, on my gluten-free, sugar-free, salt-free, vegan diet, I'm just going to go back 30 years. I'm going to be walking in here. You're not going to recognize me. I'm going to be looking and feeling so good. And I have a dog, and my dog has special needs. And I said to my congregation friends, I said, I hope it works out. I hope she gets along with the dog. And somebody yelled back, maybe it'll all work out. And I was like, that's what I'm going to do this week. Is everything that comes up, or like, I'm wondering if that's going to work out. What if it all works out? That's my answer to everything, right? So I'm sitting here like, I wonder how the talk is going to go. Maybe it all works out. I wonder how this week is going to go. Maybe it all works out, right? So let's just all say it together. Maybe it all works out. We definitely are embarking on the plan of love and light. And we are releasing our stories from the past. We are releasing the need for anyone to tell us what to do. We are living into a possibility, an uncharted place that has never happened before. We are the rainbow bridge between the appearance of what is now and the possibility of the future. A possibility of future that is about love, that's about light, where there is an understanding of oneness, that we are one with the planet, that we are one with each other, that there is no such thing as separation, that we are in love with our Mother Earth and all of her creatures in every dimension, in every direction, and we are all in love with the true spirit of each other. That when we say namaste, we know what that means. And there is no other. There is no other. There is only oneness. There is only love. So I just want to ground that in. So if we could have the practitioners stand, I want to do a prayer and a meditation. And I want to start with ceremonially cutting the cords between us and limitation. Cutting the cords of limitation, cutting the cords of fear, cutting the cords of poverty, cutting the cords that link us to a past that no longer serves us. We cut the cords between us and anything that is a lower vibration that would be seeping and sapping our energy. And we take on, in that clear space, a space of light and a space of love. And in this light, we sit in this highest vibration of spirit. I know that there is light and love, that there is ultimate source, that there is absolute cause, and everything that is secondary cause, we just acknowledge that it is made of the lesser stuff, that who I am is one with absolute cause, that I am one with the spirit of light, that I am one with the creative energy that created the planets and everything that is. I acknowledge the light that lives in me, in this body, on this earth, in this cosmos, in the universe, and in all being, in all dimensions, and all time. I know that right now I am imbued with that light, and each of us is imbued, inundated with, breathing that light. And if you will, just imagine that bright light of spiritual love at the top of your head. You can imagine it like an electric dove. And just allow that electric white, pure light to flow through your entire body and flow down through your feet and release it into the earth. And continue bringing in the light and the love and the life. And in this moment, we declare absolute healing for these bodies, absolute healing for our emotional bodies, absolute flow of divine spirit through every aspect of our entire being, that our bones, our spines, our heads, our feet are all clothed with this divine white light that is coursing through us, releasing anything that's negative, releasing blocks, releasing limitations, releasing the past. And in this moment of absolute clarity, in this present moment right now, I declare absolute and perfect life, prosperity, wholeness, that there is peace, there is harmony, there is joy, there is absolute love. In this moment, through the bottoms of our feet, we bless our Mother Earth. May she be at peace. May every person, every being on this planet be blessed beyond measure, be blessed with the light and love and joy and beauty. And we just allow these blessings to flow through us and as us. Blessing the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living, its ministry, its message, its persons, in every form that it takes, whether by sound, on video, in person. The emanation of spirit is drawing forth the best in us, and we emanate the best in the world. We are our divine mission, and we bring light and love to this planet. I call it all good. I call it blessed. We just breathe in the light, breathing out the light with so much gratitude and so much thanksgiving. And we say together, and so it is. Amen. Thank you, practitioners.
Whew, let's take another deep breath together. And holding on to those wonderful treasures. Thank you so much, Reverend Tammi, for sharing the depth of your wisdom. I know I'm going to be contemplating that all week. In fact, I would make a suggestion to y'all. If you're open to a suggestion, you can go to YouTube and listen to it again. And if you wanted to, you could fast forward right until the prayer time and just use that piece of a prayer each day this week for your daily spiritual practice. Just tossing out a suggestion there. All right. Thank you so much. That was stunning. All right. It is time, while we're sharing our love and gratitude and appreciation, it's time to share our abundance. So for those of you, whether you're online or you're in the house, there are options scrolling across the screen. The text to give is incredibly easy and safe and wonderful to use. For those of you that make your monthly donations electronically, thank you so much. And for those of you that are getting out your purses and your checks and all the goodness, thank you so much for sharing, because it helps us not only to have, the beautiful building and, this beautiful gathering space that we have, but it's all the ministries and all the way that this reaches out into the world exponentially. So your sharing of your abundance, really, it touches everyone. It's super important, huge ripples out into Albuquerque and then the greater world. So let's take a moment to say our giving affirmation together. It says, I am abundant, and I give from my abundance. I am prosperous, and I give from my prosperity. I am blessed, and I give from my blessings. My blessings of spirit are as abundant as the stars, and so I give and receive generously, and so it is. So for those of you in the house, you're welcome to come on up to the baskets while we have some special music from Jean and Susan.
And we'll try and do the songs right this time. This is fun for me, but I'm also like really excited and really nervous and all that,
Well, but Jean, what if it all works out?
Yeah, maybe. So far.
I'm following you.
Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry
About a thing.
about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright.
Oh, I raise up this morning.
Raise up this morning.
Smile with the rising sun.
Smile with the rising
Sweet little
sun.
birds. It works by my doorstep. And they're singing sweet songs. Melodies pure and true. And they're singing, this is my message to you. Don't worry
About a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Every little thing.
Oh, I say, don't worry
Don't worry
about a thing.
about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright.
Yes, I raise up this morning.
Woke up this morning.
Smile with the
I
rising sun.
smile with the rising
Sweet little birds.
sun.
Don't you know they perch by my doorstep.
Right outside of my doorstep.
And they're singing
Sweet songs, sweet songs, melodies pure and true.
Singing,
This is my message to you.
don't worry
Don't worry
about a thing.
about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Every little thing.
Don't you worry about a thing.
About anything. Every little thing. Every little thing. Every little thing. Every little thing gonna be alright. Don't need to worry
work out? Woo, that was fantastic. It did all work out. And so did this. Let's take a moment to bless these wonderful offerings and all that you give of your time, your talent, your treasure, your love, as we share the spiritual journey together in this beautiful spiritual community. So thank you, sweet spirit, for all these gifts and all of your gifts and the gift that we are to each other. We're grateful for the provision, for all of our ministry needs and more. We are thankful for the infinite abundance in the universe, for our good health, for our friends, our family, and this opportunity to express our love and appreciation to each other. In this moment of gratitude, we allow ourselves to appreciate the abundance and prosperity that comes to our center. Each gift and giver are blessed and valued. And we now declare that each person's peacefulness, joy, and abundance is increased 1,000-fold. And please join me by anchoring this prayer with, "And so it is." And while we're talking about prayer, we do have practitioners here who are ready to serve you in prayer. We study for at least 4 years to be able to support you in prayer in good times and in bad. So you don't have to just wait till something is gnarly to ask for prayer. You could also ask for prayer when things are awesome and say, "I'd like more of that, please," because the universe always says, "Yes, my beloved, I will make that true for you." So you can see all different practitioners. They've got various and sundry stoles on, and you can step into our fabulous office, those chairs over there, and we will have beautiful prayer time after the service. Or you could write a prayer request. I believe there's some in the backs of the seats. There's definitely some on the back table by the prayer box. It looks like a little treasure box that you could put in there, and then the practitioners pray on that all week long. Or if you're at home right now or later this week, you think, "Dang, I need a prayer." Okay, just go to the website, the rgcsl.org, and there's a big old button, prayer request, and then it gets emailed out, and we're praying for you. So we've got you well supported. All right, so now I'm going to ask Carol to get us set up for our closing here.
I'll do my best Norm Dawson impersonation. This is it. This is it. I'm just going to have to be myself. Good morning. I'm louder than him too, probably. All right. Are you blessed? What a phenomenal hour we just spent together, and what a wonderful week it's going to be. Just feel so good about this. Everything we've heard, everything we've done. And if you want announcements, go read your bulletin. It's online or what? Oh, that's right. We have announcements from, who's first? Oh, all right. Mike Hatcher has an announcement.
Morning, everybody. So as you know, we got our annual Thanksgiving feast coming up on Thanksgiving, starting at noon. And someone pointed out, I keep forgetting to say, bring friends. Friends and relatives are certainly welcome. And also, the sign-up poster board is in the social hall. No one has signed up yet to help clean up. The center is not a self-cleaning oven. Yes? And Nandi and Carol Ann, of course, are generally heading that up, but we definitely need help because I think we're going to have a pretty packed house. I hope we are anyway, for Thanksgiving. So please, if you can, please sign up to help clean up. We're looking pretty good on food, but there's never enough sides, of course. So please look at the poster boards and help out as you can. Thank you.
I don't think I've ever been up here before. So I got out my favorite ugly Christmas sweater to announce the beginning of Michelle's Giving Tree. And for anyone who doesn't know what that is, one of the sweetest things we do as a community and community outreach is Michelle's Giving Tree. So set up in the hall in the back is a Christmas tree, and it has ornaments on it. And what we're asking to do is to help support some disadvantaged young folks and families in our community. And on the ornaments, there's a name and a gift request from these folks that we're supporting this year. So if you would take a ornament or two or three and buy gifts for these folks, we'd really appreciate that as our community, one of our wonderful community outreach programs. So make sure that you don't walk off with the ornament without telling us which one you've taken and give us your information, phone number, etc. So.
And we are now going to call Chris up for a benediction, and then our musicians will close us out. Aren't they wonderful today?
Well, let us all join in one grateful heart for this wonderful time we've shared this morning, for all the wisdom and the joy and the connection, the fun, and for the certainty that as we align ourselves with this spiritual substance in which we live and move and have our being, as we allow it to flow through us, that indeed all things are working out for our highest and best good for ourselves, one another, the world. And so it is. Amen.
Stand if you're able, if you feel like it. We'll do a little community singing on our way out here. What a wonderful world.
I love coming here to sing. Then I found out Susan was going to be here, and that's why I got all nervous and everything, because
right.
She's amazing.
Not a nervous bone in this man's body.
Yes, there is.
No.
And it was out today, and now, but it doesn't matter. What if it all works
out?
But
it did.
That was just, I can't tell you how perfect that was.
Oh.
One of the things I love doing, one of the other bunch of places I love singing is nursing homes, Alzheimer's centers, assisted living places. And one of the reasons I love them so much is I go in there to sing, and I tell everybody that this last July I turned 70 years old, and half the people look up and go, "You ain't seen nothing yet."
That's right. It's all relative.
And they're not joking either. These people are 90 years old and up, and they're looking at me going, "You're going to find aches and pains in places you didn't even know you could ache and pain in. So just hang on and look at us. You keep singing to us, we'll keep singing back to you. You'll do fine." And it's a perspectives, all in perspectives. What's going to work, what's not, what to try next. Believe in yourself. Believe in God. Believe in each other. We got some good people here. I see trees of green, red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds white, bright blessed day and the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. All the colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, "How do you do?" They're really saying, "I love you." I hear babies crying, I watch them grow.
are much more than I will ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.